on Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday the 19th, I will be on the WCBM morning show with Sean and Bruce. Our commercials, our radio commercials start on Tuesday. There are 200 of them. They're going to be on CBM and B.I.L, very good commercials about crime and school violence. And we're going to be interviewed on WBAL TV Monday and I think Tuesday on Fox 45. We've had a series of 4 candidates forums, 4 candidates debates. If you go to Valerie's Facebook, Valerie McDONOUGH, something, I don't know, and our Facebook, Pat McDonough, you'll see them, you can watch them. I feel very guilty. We crushed and embarrassed the poor guy, but I mean, we really did. And Roberto's here, he was at the one in North County, and he said that's the first time he ever felt sorry for Johnny Olszewski. But it's an easy thing to do because all the guy does is lie. He lies, he says things like, well, crime is really not that bad, and school violence is something we're fixing, and people just sit in their chairs, I've watched them, and they just not, you know, they go like this, this guy's crazy. So there's a lot of things we're going to do, and we're going to talk about it. On the school violence issue, there is, we've been working on this for years. Darren DeVito's here, he's been doing a leadership job on this issue. Mary Taylor, great Mary Taylor is here. But we have worked very hard trying to change things, and it has been futile. And children keep getting harmed, and things get more dangerous. I'm telling you, one of these days somebody's going to get killed in this school system. Tonight we will have teachers on our radio show from 8 till 10, and they will tell you about the amazing problems that the teachers are having. 1,100 teachers have left Baltimore County, 1,100, and more are leaving. We often think of Olszewski with the teachers' union. Well, the teachers' union is one thing. The regular teachers are something else. And they are being driven into the ground, all the extra work. They told me they get 2 or 3 curriculums a month. Just changes all the time. So they are very unhappy. In every school in Baltimore County, they have a teachers' union representative. And they had a vote on the endorsement of Johnny Olszewski, and the vote was 117 to 24 against him. Now, the big leaders, the president and the board, voted to support him over the rejection by the regular teachers. So this is what we have to deal with. But if you get a chance, look at this. This is about a lawsuit. I have come to the conclusion that the only way we can save these children and the only way we can change the policy, and I call it a pro-violence discipline policy, a pro-violence discipline policy. That's exactly what it is. It promotes and allows violence in the school system. Now the problem is that Johnny Olszewski and the school establishment and the superintendent support this. They like this program. This is a liberal created program by President Obama in 2014, and 90,000 school systems across America use this program. Children are getting harmed all across America. Now, the Constitution states that the Supreme Court just declared 6 months ago that all children have the same rights as adults, which means the following. They have the right to due process. Our school discipline system does not have due process. These children are attacked and harmed, and nothing is done about it. It is not reported properly. It is not reported to the parents. That is a lack of due process. They also have protection under the law, according to the 14th Amendment. They do not get any protection under the law in the system that exists. So here's what we're going to do. 2 of our great attorneys are here. Where is Wayne Markey? Where is Wayne? Huh? There is Wayne Markey, our great attorney, who helped to found the Parents and Students Coalition in Baltimore County, great organization. And Linda Brown, is Linda here? I saw her earlier. Oh, and here is Linda Brown. We are going to file a lawsuit with the federal courts, a constitutional lawsuit, that our system in Baltimore County violates the Constitution. And we're going to win that case very quickly because the Supreme Court has already declared this exists. So once we win that case, this system we have in Baltimore County will be out of business. But here's the beautiful part about it. All 90,000 school systems in America that use this system will be out of business. We will free the children of America with this lawsuit. It's a great achievement. It's an applause line. So little old Baltimore County is going to save the children of America from violence. But when I become Baltimore County executive, I will continue the lawsuit. One of the things that I will do that's very simple is the SROs. These are the police. They're real actual police officers that are in the system are under the authority of the education department. I will pass an executive order removing them from the education department and putting them under my authority and the police chief. And I will encourage them. It's a major change, believe me, because they have their hands tied and they're not protecting these children. It's a major change because they will then, these kids, if they get hurt, the parents can file a criminal complaint. Now, unfortunately, we have done a lot of campaigning. We have done a lot of protesting. Mary and our good friend Darren have done a lot of work, a lot of good people. It's tremendous. You would not believe the cases that we have handled of injured people. So we have plaintiffs ready to go. This is the only solution. Olszewski and the Board of Ed are not going to get away from this thing. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that to you by itself before we talk about what's happening. But I want to just catch you up. This is our last event. We have 24 days. And a lot of people ask me, and they say, well, how do you feel about the election? And I say, what election? The election, I tell you, I feel pretty good. I think we're getting stronger all the time. I believe people are looking for change. And I'll let you in on a few secrets. I think that every time, and it happens every night, it happens every day on television, there are stories and pieces about crime, about violence in schools, and to me that's all commercials for Pat McDonough. Because people keep saying that, and they say, you know, we got to make a change. A couple of facts though. Number one, every Democrat county executive in the past 30 years, when they ran for re-election, they had what was called a vote drop. In the last election, a gentleman ran against Kevin Kamenetz and had no money, nobody knew who he was, and he got 44% of the vote. So we're going to get that vote drop on Olszewski again. Plus, the Republican turnout for Dan Cox is going to be very strong in Baltimore County. The polls that I've heard about say that Cox is going to win Baltimore County, and I'm going to win Baltimore County. One of the things I've been disappointed in, to be honest with you, is the Republican voters have been great. And a lot of our volunteers, we have meetings every week, have been wonderful, helping out in the campaign. But the Republican leadership is nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Bob Ehrlich is a friend of mine, I've heard nothing. Andy Harris is a friend of mine, heard nothing. Kathy Shalaga, nothing. Only Nino Mangione and a couple other people. So I can tell you that that's very disappointing. I have a friend of mine, Bob the Democrat. I saw Bob the Democrat this summer, and he said to me, I cannot stand Olszewski, I hate him. I'm definitely going to vote for you. So I saw Bob the Democrat last week, and he had a bunch of Olszewski signs in his truck. I said, Bob, I thought you hated Olszewski. He said, I'm not voting for it. He said, but you Republicans, you don't get it. So sometimes I think you're dumb. He said, Democrats, we get it, all right? We know the power behind this job. We know that the county executive appoints 500 people. We know that the county executive appoints the police leadership. We know that the county executive controls zoning. We know that the county executive controls inspections and business and fire and police and education and health and housing. We know these things. We know the power. We aren't going to give that power to a Republican. We're going to have our guy take that power, whether we like it or not. So you Republicans don't get that. You don't understand that. If the Republicans understood that, they would all be behind you 100%. Now I'm talking about the leadership, the elected. Bob Ehrlich and Andy Harris and all these people would be on my team, right? I mean, if I become the county executive of Baltimore County, I could raise $1 million a year. I could be an ATM machine for Republican candidates. I'm a great authority. And I can, of course, change the county. And the worst part about it is these Republicans, do they care about the future of their county? If they cared about the future of their county, they would support their candidate that the Republican voters elected. Okay? I want to give an example. Darren Badillo and I, we ran for the same job. I won, but Darren's here. He supports me 100%. He's on the team. He's a young man with a young family. He's got to live in this county. He doesn't want this county to continue under the authority of Johnny Olszewski. He knows better. So I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to tell you on election night when I win this race, and the television cameras get all around me, and they say, well, how do you feel, Mr. McDonough, about this upset victory? I'm going to say, first of all, I want to thank all the voters in Baltimore County that voted for me. And I want to say to those who did not vote for me, I hope I can make you happy enough and satisfied enough that the next time you will vote for me. And I want to send out a special thanks to the Republican voters of Baltimore County who stood by me. But to the Republican leadership, don't call me. I'm going to let people know, because the Republican leadership in this county and in this state, I mean, Dan Cox is running for governor, and Hogan is calling his opponent, his Republican fundraisers, telling them not to give money to Dan Cox. Now, how does the Republican Party ever expect to gain respect and win victories in this state while letting the radical leftist wokies of the Democrat Party take control of our state? It's their fault. And I'm going to be one highly elected Republican in this state that's going to tell people the truth. Just a couple of things, you probably heard it before. I'm never going to allow Baltimore County to become another failure like Baltimore City. I'm going to make crime illegal again. I'm going to let teachers teach. We're going to replace the police chief with a real police chief. We're going to stop school violence in Baltimore County and across America. We're going to abolish all sanctuary policies, which are part of an executive order by Kevin Kamenetz, my first day in office. I'm going to pass the Parents' Bill of Rights for education. I'm going to create a curriculum act which states that every year we're going to have drug awareness, we're going to have civics, we're not going to have teaching babies about sexual training, and we're not going to have CRT. We're going to bring back those 1,000 teachers, or 1,100 that we've lost. We're going to put a moratorium on all Section 8 housing in Baltimore County. Now, I can't stop Section 8 housing, it's the law. But here's the problem. The community leaders are complaining that Section 8 housing is causing a decline in the quality of life in their neighborhoods. The police have told me there is a link between drugs and crime. Not in all Section 8, okay? And I have heard recently from people in the business that the Section 8 housing in Baltimore County is being promoted and paid for by hustlers, out-of-state speculators and others who are making money off Section 8 housing in Baltimore County while we are making poverty. Poverty has increased by 40% in Baltimore County in 10 years. Now, I'm not only going to put a moratorium, I'm going to create a commission, and we are going to address every one of those questions that I brought up. We're going to put facts together and prove to the elitists like Johnny Olszewski, who love Section 8 housing and say that there is no problems with Section 8 housing. We're going to prove that there are, and we're going to make it public and put the facts behind it. Not that I don't love women, but I'm going to fire the 3 ladies that run the housing department. Yeah. Because they're not for us, I can tell you right now. We're going to be a rule of law county. No squeegees, no dirt bikes, no riots in the mall. If you do it, there are going to be consequences, and we're going to have a community service program. They're going to clean the nursing homes, they're going to clean the hospitals, they're going to clean the side streets, but you're going to do something. You're not going to get away with it. We have lost more than 300 police officers in 3 years. We have to get them to return. And they have told us personally they don't like Melissa Hyde and they don't like Johnny. When Giuliani became the mayor of New York City, it was 1,700 police officers down. Within 1 year, he filled all the ranks. When I become county executive, we will fill the ranks. These will be professional, well-trained police officers, and if somebody breaks into your garage or steals your kid's bike or commits a nuisance crime down the street, my police officers will file criminal complaints. They will not just talk to you and walk away. So these are major changes. These are major reforms. This is a revolutionary campaign. The Baltimore Sun endorsed Johnny Olszewski the other day. They said we needed a really tall county executive. And they did not endorse me. They said because I was against illegal immigrants. I was anti-crime. And I wanted to protect Baltimore County from Baltimore City. That's why they didn't endorse me. But in a way, they did endorse me. Because every reasonable, normal person who read that editorial said, I like this guy. So I think we did okay on there. I served for 16 years, actually 20, if you count when I was younger, in the state legislature, and I never voted for one tax increase. And I will never increase your taxes in Baltimore County. Never. And every house in this county has had a property tax increase. Whether you live in Moncton or Essex, you've had a property tax increase. And Johnny raised the taxes by $82 million his first year in office. So my job is frankly to save Baltimore County. I spoke to 350 citizens in the early voting and on election day after they voted. And I asked them, what is your greatest fear? That's all I asked them. Almost every one of them said the future of the county. Anyone who has lived in this county for 10 years or more has witnessed the transition. You can't deny it. If you're deaf, dumb, and blind, you cannot deny it. You have witnessed it. You have seen it. That's what has people scared. That is our secret weapon. They don't want 10 more, 2 more, 3 more months of this stuff. They want change. They want to throw people out of office. That's why we're going to win this election. And it's going to be the biggest upset in Maryland in 22. This is going to be the number 1 election. The fun part about it is that Valerie becomes First Lady. I can imagine. So I get to fill 50 jobs on my staff, 500 jobs in the administration. And Valerie will say, that one, not that one. That one, not that one. I'm only kidding. She's not really that pushy. She's a sweetheart. And she's smart. He's never been wrong in 35 years. Never once has he ever been wrong in 35 years. You guys understand that. You know what I'm talking about. So we're looking forward to the next 24 days. The radio commercials start. We have some big newspaper ads, big full-page newspaper ads in our local community newspapers. If you want signs, we have some signs available for you. Signs are going up every day. We're getting more and more of the big signs out there. So I think it looks good. The main thing you can do is pray for us so that we can win this election and make a change. I've run, in the past 30 years, I've run for election 7 times. I've won 5 of those elections. But I have never experienced an election like this with the people. It's been an experience for me. The hostility that is out there. I mean, nice little senior ladies. What do you think of Johnny? Oh, I hate that. So wait a minute. So, I don't get it, but it's there. 30 years ago when I managed Roger Hayden's campaign for county executive, and I don't know if you remember this, but he defeated Dennis Rasmussen, the incumbent county executive who had $2 million. And I managed his campaign, and a lot of people didn't like Dennis because he increased the taxes a couple of times. But, you could go up to somebody and say, what do you think of Dennis Rasmussen? They say, well, I call him Tax-Mussen, but he's a nice man. It was totally, I've never seen anger and hostility towards a candidate. So one of my lawyer friends, not Wayne or Linda, said the other day, you're either going to win this election or you're going to lose it. I said, that is a profound and brilliant statement from an attorney, okay? He said, no. He said, here's what I mean. He said, if that hostility is widespread and deep all across the county, you will win whether you have a dime or $1 million. If that hostility is not widespread and deep, you will lose if you have $1 million. So in other words, this election's all about him. All about how the people feel about him. They're getting to know me a little bit. They're getting to know these issues. They've seen me in the debates, and they know that I have ideas. My website, everything on there, every criticism I have of Johnny, there's an answer, a solution, and an idea. I will not criticize another candidate. I will not criticize a policy unless I have an answer, a solution, and an idea. Final point. When I was a young man, I worked for William Donald Schaefer, the greatest mayor that ever lived, okay? And he taught me a lot of things, because he used to criticize me all the time. He said, Pat, if you ever become a leader, now remember, I'm only 23 years old. He said, you're kind of dumb, I don't think you ever will. But if you ever do, he said, remember, you're not a Democrat, you're not a Republican. You are the father of the village, and you got to take care of that village. He was thinking about the city, Baltimore County had like 300,000 people then. But now we have 850,000 people. And that is what my administration is all about. The editorial that criticized me said I'll be Donald Trump. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not Joe Biden. I'm Pat McDonough. And I'm a guy who believes in ideas and success. A lady said to me the other day, are you on abortion, are you pro-choice or pro-life? And I said, well, abortion has nothing to do with my job. Nothing at all. But since you asked an honest question, I'll give you an honest answer. I said, I am pro-life. She said, well, I'm pro-choice, and so is my husband. Well, I said, that's good. I'm glad you are. You have your decision to make. I said, but here's my job. You have a daughter. I saw the young daughter with her. I said, well, that daughter is in our school system. I will make sure that child gets the best possible safe education on earth as your superintendent, as your leader. And I don't care if you're pro-choice and she's pro-choice, all right? And that lady said to me, I have never voted for a pro-life candidate in my life, but I'm voting for you. When I become county executive, that's my whole thing. This is my last hurrah. This is my last rodeo. I have no ambitions to run for anything else. When I make a decision on police, and schooling and housing and anything else. I don't care what the voters in Baltimore City think. I don't care what the voters in Montgomery County think. And the reason I say that is because Johnny does. Because Johnny wants to be governor. Okay? I don't care about those things. I don't care what the morons on the editorial board of the Sun or the Washington Post care. I only care, is it a good idea? Will it make things better? And can we afford it? That's all I'll care about. And is it good for the people of Baltimore County? I thank you all very much. God bless you and enjoy the social. Sorry.